Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name's Anna, and on my channel we talk about true crime, murder mysteries, unsolved cases, cold cases, and sometimes I talk to you guys, and sometimes I do my makeup. And actually right now, all I have on is foundation, but I got like almost 4 minutes in, and I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So the only thing you missed was my foundation. So I want to give my little disclaimer that we are going to be talking about the crime scenes, graphic descriptions of crime scenes, adult dialogue, you know, all that good stuff. Well, not good stuff, sorry. Let me rephrase that. All that stuff. So today is actually based on like a Christmas themed murder. I know that like sounds bad, but I kind of wanted to do like a little Christmas themed one, I guess. And it's actually in North Carolina again, which is crazy. I'm like, what is going on here? Y'all need to chill out. Because our last one, Miss Blanche, I think that's who the last one is. Yeah, Miss Blanche, she was from North Carolina. She was a little bit closer than the one that we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to get right into it. So today we're going to be talking, like I said, about a Christmas murder, the Lawson family. And we're going to be starting with the dad, Charlie Lawson. He was born May 10th in 1886 in Lawsonville, NC. It was named that because it was kind of like a little community for their family. It wasn't like a really like established little town or city or anything like that. Because like around here in the South, we have roads and lanes and little towns and everything named after people, and that's just where like the whole family lives, you know, like the whole shebang. So that's kind of like how that ordeal was. But they were 10 miles from Danbury, NC, and that's where he met his wife, and they got married in 1911 to Fanny Manning. I love that name, little Miss Fanny. But he got married to her in 1911, and they had 8 children. But the third, William, born in 1914, he died in 1920 from an unknown illness following the move of his brother in 1918 to Germantown, NC. Charlie took him and his entire family. The Lawsons were sharecroppers, and he actually saved enough money to buy their own farm in y'all, I'm a struggle, I'm so sorry. On Cove Road. I'm so sorry. I'm so terrible at this. But anyways, so yeah, saved up enough money, got them a little old cabin, and you know, they were doing good for themselves. They were farming. Like I said, he was around his entire family, so that was a really good thing for them, I think, because I think they were really big on family. Like I said, I mean, they lived in like their own little community, so obviously I would think they were all really close. But anyways, so in 1929, Charlie took his entire family to get a bunch of new clothes before Christmas, and they actually got, you know, fairly expensive clothes, and they took a family portrait, which isn't strange now, but back then it was strange because they didn't have the money to be doing stuff like that. So people were like, that's kind of odd, but cool flex. And their daughter in it, like one of their kids, the oldest one, Marie, she looks so angry in the picture, like it's insane. I don't know why sis is so mad, but she sure is. Y'all, I got some new, okay, side moment. I got some new brushes for Christmas, and oh my goodness, I am beyond excited. Oh my goodness, I don't know which ones to use. Like, I'm beyond excited to use them. But anyways, so like I said, they got some family portraits done and stuff like that. before Christmas, and it was a very unusual thing because, you know, they didn't have a lot of money. And his family, they were close, but he seemed to have some issues. Charlie, the dad, yeah, he seemed to have some, he was just weird, I think. And I don't think people knew how to respond to that. I think he had a secret life. That's how I feel. And you'll see why I say that. But anyways, building up suspense. So, on December 25th, 1929, that morning, Carrie, 12, and Maybelle, 7, were walking to their uncle's. And at that time, the boys were actually going hunting. It was like a tradition for them to do that on Christmas morning. So, you know, they were getting ready to do that. And Charlie had actually sent his son Arthur, who was 16, into town to get some more bullets before they went on, you know, their little hunting escapado or whatever they were going to be doing as a family with his uncles and stuff like that had moved there, you know, because like I said, they moved there all like as a family. I gotta take a drink of something real quick. Yeah, so they had all like moved there, like I said, you know, as a family. So they were going to be joining each other and going on a little hunting escapade. So, like I said, Arthur got sent into town to get some more bullets. So, at this time, we're going to track back to Carrie and Maybelle. They were walking to their uncle's house, and Charlie was in the tobacco barn, and he spotted the girls walking towards their uncle's house, and without hesitation, he fired the shotgun at a distance, shooting Maybelle, who was 7 years old, Maybelle, sorry, who was 7 years old, and Carrie, who was 12. Anyways, sorry, I'm going to just tell the story, y'all. To make sure they were dead, we're going to get graphic here, and it's about children, so I want to give a fair warning. He actually bludgeoned them to death to make sure that they were dead, which I think is probably, I mean, it's all of it's terrible, but that's, you know, that's his own children, and he, you know, you have to get up close and personal to do some crazy stuff like that. Sorry. Some crazy stuff like that, so, I don't know, but anyways, so he bludgeoned them to death, and he dragged their lifeless bodies into the tobacco barn that he was hiding in order to get to the girls. After that, he returned to the house where Fanny was peeling potatoes on the porch, minding her business, because, you know, like I said, it was Christmas, so they were getting ready to have Christmas dinner and, you know, be a family. So he walks up to her and shoots her with the same exact shotgun that he shot his daughters with, Mabel and Carrie. And Marie, who was 17 years old at the time, she was actually in the house baking a cake for the family because, you know, it was Christmas. So she was baking a cake for them. And she heard the gunshots and immediately screamed. And at that time, James, who was 4 years old, and Raymond, who was 2 years old, his other sons, they heard the gunshots at the same time as well. So, of course, they took off, you know, scurried on along to hide. At that time, Charlie walks in and sees Marie and shot her. He also found James and found Raymond. It wasn't really specified for sure, like, where he found them, but he found both of the boys, 2-year-old and 4-year-old, James and Raymond, and he shot them as well. Then he proceeded to his 3-month-old daughter's room, where she was laying there. Mary Lou was her name, minding her own business, being a 3-month-old baby. He walks up to her crib and he actually bludgeons her to death. She was the only one, Mary Lou, the 3-month-old, that he didn't shoot with the shotgun. So we don't really know why, but for some reason he beat her to death, like, beyond recognition, worse than any of them. And that was just, I couldn't imagine. So anyways, after he did that, he took the family's body and he laid them in the living room with their arms like this, like, you know how people a lot of the times lay in a casket. He laid them out like that, and he put rocks for some reason under their heads, kind of like pillows almost. He put rocks under their heads and laid them in a straight line all together, just in the living room, just hanging out on the floor, just gone. And I want to know, like, what had to be going through his mind at that point. Like, bro, you just murked your whole fam. Like, why? Anyways, so after that, Arthur was still, at the time, his son, he was still in town getting bullets. So he was not there when all of this happened, thank God. I mean, it sucks, you know, but at least he was not there when this happened. So Marion and Elijah, Charlie's brothers, you know, the uncles that the two girls were going to go see and they were going to go hunting with and stuff, the boys, they actually came by to, you know, wish the family a Merry Christmas and to just see everybody and to just hang out, you know, do Christmas things with the fam. And unbeknownst to them, sorry y'all, this is kind of like a really sad story. Like, I'm sorry I'm pausing so much, but, like, I don't know, this just really gets to me. It's just, I don't know, it's just really terrible. All of it, every story like this is terrible. But this is just, it's just insane to me. So I'm so sorry that I keep pausing, but I will keep going right now. So like I said, Marion and Elijah, they walked into the house because, you know, nobody's there, nobody's home, it seems like. So they, being worried or nosy, I don't really know, they walked in and immediately they saw the entire family's bodies laid out in the living room floor, just gone. But Charlie was nowhere to be found at all. Like, nowhere. So at that time, everybody's like, well, where's Charlie? Like, if everybody else is here, where's old boy at? Obviously. So at that time, they proceed to call the police and let them know what was going on and what was happening. So they come to the property and they analyze everything and they immediately want to find Charlie. They don't know at this point if he's been kidnapped, if he's dead, or, you know, just what's going on. They're just trying to figure out what the hell happened to this family that has no enemies, no track record, no nothing. So, like, what happened? Well, Charlie actually went into the woods and he stayed pacing around this one tree. I think it was an oak tree. Yeah, an oak tree. He stayed pacing around this one oak tree for hours. And I mean hours and hours, just pacing and pacing and pacing. Like, what are you doing, bro? But anyways, so the police came and they went to the woods in that area and they took sniffer dogs. And as soon as they went into the woods and started to look for Charlie, they heard one single gunshot and the dogs took off and immediately found Charlie's body underneath the oak tree in a pile of snow, because like I said, it was snowing at this time. It was Christmas. And, you know, they're up towards the mountains, so, you know, obviously snow. Well, Charlie was dead. He had shot himself in the head, and the snow around the tree was so deep from where he was walking around and around and around the base of the tree, not knowing what to do. We have no idea at all why he was pacing around the bottom of the tree. He left no note, no anything like that at all. So at that point, police had found Arthur, his 16-year-old son, remember, that had went into town to get bullets. The police found Arthur in town and they told him sadly what happened to his entire family and what happened to his dad. And it was really, really sad. And one thing that I found out while doing my research is, okay, side note, I'm sorry to sidetrack for a second, but I really like this look. I don't do green, but like, I like this green. I f***s with it. I really f***s with it. Heck yeah. Hey girl. Anyways, sorry. But rumors were really, really crazy at this time, you know. Like I said, if you're from the South, you know, like, it spreads like wildfire around here. And it's insane the things that people will say about other people. But the police, whenever they had to get the bodies out of the house, they had a really hard time because, like I said, it was snowing, and the way that their cabin was, it was kind of like on this like hill thing almost, and it was really hard for them to move the bodies at all. So they kind of had to get like a little creative, and they actually had to wrap the bodies up in sheets and kind of like use them almost like a sled and slide them down the hill. So I don't mean to laugh, I'm so sorry, but like slide them down the hill and get their bodies to the coroners. The town that they lived in was extremely small. Like, the population was, I mean, it was non-existent almost. And, hold on one second. The coroner, they don't have things like this happen in their town a lot. So, of course, they didn't have the capacity in order to take care of that many bodies. So they had to send them actually to the town over to get examined for, you know, what, for their autopsies and stuff. So at this time, rumors and speculation, like I said, they started to spread real bad. And things were just getting, in my opinion, out of hand. We have no idea how true any of these rumors are at all, if they are. And I'm just gonna tell you guys a few of them and tell you which one that I personally believe is true. So the first rumor is that Charlie actually didn't kill his family, that he was involved in like crime and like the mob and gangsters and stuff like that, and he witnessed a organized crime, and the people who were doing the crime, he saw them, like I said, and they found him, and him and some of the guys got into a fight, and they killed him and his entire family and made it look like a murder-suicide. And that theory has never been proven to this day, and I, for one, don't believe it. Like, I do not believe that just one bit. Like I said, there's absolutely nothing to back up those claims whatsoever. And I don't know, I don't see it. I just don't see it happening. But that's my personal opinion. So, we're going to get into the main rumor. And this is the biggest one. This is the one that everybody seems to believe, and seems to be one that kind of has a little bit of proof to it, if you want to say that. So, yeah. So, it is rumored that Charlie's 17-year-old daughter that we talked about, the one that he shot in the house, that heard her mom get shot and screamed, Marie, it was rumored that she was actually pregnant and that it was Charlie's. Now, I don't know how true this was. There was never any proof in an autopsy revealed, because they would have been able to tell if she was pregnant even like after death. They would have been able to tell that. So, because her body hadn't deteriorated, it hadn't started to decompose really, so they would have been able to see it. Well, a lot of these claims have been kind of backed up in a way, and I'll let you decide that. And this claim mostly came to light when a book was written and released, and it was called White Christmas, Bloody Christmas, about the Lawson family murders. And the people that were interviewed for the book, they recalled rumors and stories, like a lot of stories at the time, about Charlie and Marie and what was going on with them. So, these are some of the things that people said. They backed up the claims that Marie was pregnant, and that it seemed that Fanny knew about it, and that they were actually taking care, whatever that means, of the situation. So, whenever this book was released, somebody came forward and gave them a little bit more information to back up this story. Stella Lawson, who was Charlie Lawson's brother, Marion, you remember him? It was his daughter. So Stella is Marion's daughter. So she would have been, you know, the kid's cousin. Anyways, so she called the publishers and told them that at the funeral for the Lawson, she overheard Fanny's sister-in-law, and including her aunts, talk about Marie being pregnant. And she was actually talking to Stella's mom, Jetty Lawson, discussing actually how Fanny did know about the pregnancy and that they were, in fact, taking care of it. Well, Miss Jetty passed away in 1929, so this means that Fanny probably did know that she was pregnant at the time of the murders. I mean, I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's hard to know with something like this because there was no suicide note. There was no anything like that. So it's hard to really believe if it's true or not. But I'll let you guys decide on what you believe. I don't know, honestly. But the most convincing evidence yet from a close friend of Marie Lawson, Ella May, she actually claims that just weeks before Christmas, Marie told her that she was pregnant and that it was Charlie's. Ella May says that Fanny knew, in fact, that she was pregnant. So, you tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Like I said, I don't know, but then again, like, I can't fully say that because I kind of believe that she was pregnant. I mean, there are too many of the same, like, rumors and people talking about it, and I don't know, it just seems a little fishy to me, in my personal opinion. But shortly after the murders, Marion Lawson, Charlie's brother, actually opened up the house where the murders happened, didn't clean anything up, still kept the crib that the baby died in covered in blood, and actually invited people over to the house to see the crime scene and to see what happened. And it was said that there was the cake that Marie was making whenever Charlie came in and shot her. The cake that she was making and putting raisins on, the raisins were still on it, and people were actually taking mementos of the raisins from the crime scene. So they actually had to put the cake in a glass, and it preserved it for a very, very long time. And a lot of people, there was even a famous mobster at the time, I can't remember his name actually, but he has claimed to go into the house, and he actually sent a letter to the police there and mocked them for not noticing him and catching him at the time, which I'm like, it's pretty ballsy, bro, but do you flex on them? So there was actually a song written about the Lawson family called The Lawson Family Murders, and it was written actually by the Stanley Brothers in March of 1956, but it wasn't released until 2004 by Columbian Records on a special edition album that they had coming out an evening long ago by the Stanley Brothers. The song is on that album. So the family, they were actually all buried together, and 3-month-old Mary Lou was actually buried with her mother, Fanny, in her arms. So I think that there's like that, a little bit of silver lining right there to it, is that she was laid to rest with her mother in her arms. But I think this is a very sad story. We don't know why he did it, and I mean, we'll never know. All this stuff about her being pregnant could be rumors, it could not be rumors. Like I said, we'll never know. And that's one of the things, I like cold cases sometimes because I like doing investigating afterwards. But, then again, I don't like cold cases because I don't like not knowing what happened. You know what I mean? Not having that closure. So, but yeah. So that was the story about the Lawson family. I'm not putting eyelashes on today like I normally do because I need to give my eyeballs or my eyelashes a break, because some of them have came out and they used to be so long and now they're not anymore, which low-key makes me sad. But yeah, that's today's look. A little green, little Christmas spirit. But let me know how you guys feel down below about this story. Thank you for spending some time with me on this holiday. And I'm not going to say, I hope you enjoyed today's story, because I kind of feel like that's a little weird. And it's about people passing away, so you know, but I hope it was interesting to you guys, and I hope you enjoy spending time with me. Like I said, as much as I enjoy spending time with you. And remember to be kind and to stay safe, and that I love you. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.